Who's got the rocket launcher? I say we blow it up. Now fire that thing.
It's for the city of sports, playing with a giant Nick. With my man S. God.
That's him.
You feel the vibe?
That's me.
We going live.
That's us.
That like button shared, you been subscribed.
Stadium.
That MetLife, Big Blue, home of the Braves.
Yeah.
That Turnpike, you can see that's where the game's played. NFL one day, then it's the NBA. Madison Square Garden, that's where the Knicks play. This that NY Logan, no it don't get broken. Legalized, mean this shit smoking. I'm on topic, dropping another episode. The game winner, trade, maybe a field goal. Everybody right now doing the wave. You tune in the show called TheMan-Cave. I see the chat, they always doing their thing. Big views, 85-inch screen. The game's on, you rush and bleed. Stay calm, you on the road and chill. Do the watch along. The show's on, the host, you know it's S-God. It's no telling the panel filled with guest stars. You're now rocking with the voice, you know who it is. It's your boy J Boogie. You're now rocking with my man S-God. I support him to the fullest, you heard? My man Mike Blaze. This is Alter Production. What that mean? We about to alter everything that's playing. Tune in. My man S.God. Support the show. Subscribe, share it. Most importantly, hit that like button.
What's good? What's good? Salute, man, to the orange and blue skies. You already know what time it is, man. Them orange and blue skies, you already know what the vibes is, man. It is Knicks Talk tonight, man, on the Man-Cave podcast, man, courtesy of the Aboriginal Sports Network. Make sure you go subscribe to the Aboriginal Sports Network, man, our one centralized location for all of our content, man. The link is right there in the chat. Myself, Man-Cave podcast, also Big Pad Sports Talk. Unpopular Opinion Sports with NYG, my brother. He's also he also got something on Aboriginal Sports right now, talking about his top 5 running backs in this NFL draft coming up. So make sure you go check it and tap in on that. Also, go subscribe to Coach Ed Gladney's Amazing World of Sports, Mets 21-28, Leaf Diggy, TP Way the Giant, Delay of Game R0B. As always, man. So make sure you go tap in there, man. Thank you guys for tapping in tonight, man. Not too much going on in basketball today. Actually, no games on today. Tomorrow will be the NBA play-in games tomorrow. Atlanta visits Orlando, and then Memphis and Golden State tomorrow for the play-ins and games like that. Tonight, only thing going on tonight, man, is WNBA draft tonight, which Paige Beckers will be the odds-on favorite to be the first pick in the WNBA draft. So that'll be starting right in a few minutes. WNBA, you know how that go, man. But like I said, man, just talking Knicks tonight, man. Knicks basketball, what's good, D?
Chilling, what's going on?
Tap in, man. What's going on, man? Just talking Knicks tonight, man. First thing first, we're going to talk about the season in review, man. Like I said, for Knicks fans, man, this season started out a little bit where I didn't think people thought it was because, you know, at the end of last season, the Knicks came a game or 2 games away from, a game from making it to the NBA Eastern Conference Finals. So, you know, had a lot of injuries last year. Great run by those guys last year. A lot of grit, determination. Blue-collar worker, man. We thought we was going to run it back with those guys. And then all of a sudden, right before the season started, next thing you know, trades started happening. The Mikal Bridges trade happened. And then next you know, Karl Anthony Towns, like right before like training camp. So it was like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? Is this like kind of, you know, first Isaiah Hartenstein left in free agency. Then these trades happened, like snowballed. And then, you know, to the team that we have today. So it's almost like I said, 2 more new starters in there for the Knicks this season, coming into this season. So here we are right now, season review. Like for me, like I said, season review has been like an up and down season, but mostly a good season. Like I said, you look at the Knicks record, they're 51-31. Can't ask for anything more than that, man, in a season like that. So I'm not too mad about the 51-31. Like I said, the only thing during the season was some of the games that we watched. You know what I'm saying? Like how, you know, we felt like our team should have done better, which they should have, but it is what it is in basketball, man. You have those days, you have an up days, some days you have a down days, man. But for the most part, it's been up. You know, we had some also we had some injuries. Like I said, didn't know coming to the season that Mitchell Robinson was missed like the first half of the season. Didn't know that either, you know what I'm saying? So that was like a surprise curveball to us and stuff like that. So we managed the whole season really without our starting center because he was going to be the starting center with Karl Anthony Towns in the lineup if they would have had it like that. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, he came back the last 20-something games of the season, working himself back into a game shape now, which is a great thing for us. I'd rather him come back then than right now at this part where he'd really be rusty and stuff like that. So it's great having him back, man. Like I said, Knicks going into this playoff right now. Basically, everybody's back now, man. You know what I'm saying? Porty, like I said, they still checking on him, but like I said, he's a rookie, so I wasn't putting too much stock in that. Would he be an asset to us? Yes, he would. You know what I'm saying? Because he is a big man that can play and defend and stuff like that. So, but all in all, man, hey, man, like I said, Knicks coming in basically the most healthiest they've been all season long. That's all we can ask for going into this playoff against the Pistons, man. But like I said, for me, the season's been up and down. But like I said, for most, it's been mostly up. So I can't complain too much. You know what I'm saying? Would I like to see them doing some better, win some more games? Yeah, of course we would have. You know what I'm saying? And there could have been some games they could have lost too. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, you know what I'm saying, we rode out the storm. You know what I'm saying, with the injuries to Mitchell Robinson early on. And then through the season, Karl Anthony Towns was banged up a little bit too. OG Anunoby was banged up, and also Jalen Brunson towards the end of the season. So we had to ride that one out. So hopefully, like I said, these guys are ready for the playoffs against the Detroit Pistons. Knicks finished in third seed overall in the whole Eastern Conference. Finished second in the Atlantic Division, and because of the third seed, we will draw the Detroit Pistons in the first round of the playoffs. As you already know, the Pistons won the season series against the Knicks 3-1. But like I said, that's the regular season. Don't put too much stock into it. So we will go into the playoffs now to see what we got and going forward, man. Like I said, so yeah, for me, the season review, like I said, man, mostly for the most part, I'm happy with the season review. You know what I'm saying? As far as like the coaching, like I said, that yet to be desired. You know what I'm saying? But we could do a little bit better in coaching too and stuff like that. But it is what it is. We can't complain about that now because right now it's the playoff time coming up, man. So D, I want to ask you how you felt about the playoffs. Coach, what's good, man? Respect. Thank you, Coach, for tapping in.
No, for sure. I'm looking forward to see what they're going to put together. Again, we've talked about where the coach is going to put these players and how the coach is going to put the players in in a position to win games, not lose games as well. I think his substitutions is going to play a major part in these series and what he chooses to do and how he matches up certain players with other players, because really that can really hurt us in the game or just in their production in the game as well. So I'm interested to see where what Tibbs is going to do and how deep he's really going to go in that lineup. To be real with you, you know what I mean. But I have this question for you. If you had to grade the next season, letter grade them, where would you put them?
Letter grade for the Knicks this season. I would have to say with injuries, things like that, and so far as like effort level, sometimes I'll put like a B. I'll say a B minus or something like that. A B minus.
But we all gotta listen. I asked you that because we gotta understand they put this team together primarily this season. You
Right
know
before the season, right before the season.
So you know what I mean. These dudes had to gel just on a fly. You know what I mean.
So a little messy. I'll say nothing like messy. Go ahead.
Yeah. So you know what I mean. When push come to shove, I really think the Knicks overcame a lot of adversity. Now look, could we've been a 55, 56 game winning team? You know what I mean. I think so. I mean, a couple of those games, like I said, how the coach managed the players and, like you said, the effort level on certain players and stuff like that could have helped propelled us to a 56, 57 game winning season. But going into this playoffs, I think effort level's got to be top notch if we want to. Definitely, if we want to beat Detroit, if we can beat Detroit, like I said in this first round, I think listen, the next round is sky's the limit to me too. I think primarily the team has to shoot well. That's going to really predict where we are in that. But I think we should be all right.
How you feel about the season in review, though, the whole season overall? Like, how the team started and during the season or middle of the season and things like that.
Well, that's what I'm saying to you. In review of all of that, it's like you gotta look at the team in battling who's in, who's out. What you're using or utilizing with those players out. Like I said, I think if the coach really again coached the team and utilized most of the players, I think we would have heads up. We would have been a lot better.
Salute,
You dig
guys.
what I'm saying? What's happening,
Salute,
bro?
Mets was good. Yeah,
So,
Mets chiming in. You know, he's a big time Knicks fan too. He be on the Knicks podcast and stuff like that. Also, he's part of the Aboriginal Sports Network, man. Salute. Make sure you go subscribe to Mets 2128. He does the wrestling, baseball, and football too. Anything, like I said, Mets is right there, man. Great content creator, man. And like I said, sometimes he really gives his feelings about the Knicks. So go ahead, Mets. How you feel about the Knicks
oh
season
I'm
yeah,
going to
let's
be
hear it.
blunt. My main
Huh?
problem with the Knicks, more so in 3 of those Final 4 games, was Tibbs' lack of adaptability when it came to younger coaches picking up on his tactics and getting more aggressive defensively. And throughout the whole season, with the exception of the first game against them, that's what J.D. Bickerstaff did with the Pistons. He adapted, he got more aggressive, and Tibbs couldn't adjust.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Tibbs needs to fight aggression with aggression, not passivity.
True. Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right, because we felt that way watching some of the games too. Like I said, they got to
Correct.
force the issue. We got to pick up the pace, speed up the tempo, and stop playing slow ball, walk it up, and all this stuff. And everybody walking back on defense, not hustling back. You know, giving up free points, easy points in transition, which is an excuse. Or sometimes you might have 3 guys back there, and they still get beat by one guy. I was like, I don't even know how that happens.
Not to mention Tibbs' biggest weakness, his inability to adjust to the modern NBA, i.e., he always leaves the 3-point shot open.
3-point shooting, yeah, that's one of the big reasons why
and never bothers to go for it himself, only relying on it as an absolute last resort.
Yeah, but and also on the 3-point shooting, like I said, you know, with Dante DiVincenzo leaving, you know what I'm saying, he'd have been a guy who would have been shooting a lot of threes, but, you know, Josh Hart is not shooting threes.
And that's where I call Leon Rose an overkill spendthrift. He makes these short-sighted, get-rich-quick trades, giving away draft capital like candy or not giving players that he gets in trades the previous year time to gel with the team the current year. I was vehemently against getting Cat for Randall and DiVincenzo. I hated the fact we coughed up 6 draft picks for Miguel Bridges.
Yeah.
The guy is a half-witted spendthrift, more interested in the big name rather than trying to getting draft picks in the draft, using the draft capital, instead of giving them away like candy on draft day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you know, like the 3 draft picks that we picked this year, like I said, I feel they could help the team. I don't know why they wasn't playing most of the season.
My problem is they're all second-round picks. I wanted to keep the first ones. But no, much like Isaiah Thomas, Leon Rose wheels, deals, and wastes draft capital. You give him something, he'll just take it and give it away.
Yeah.
Well, so what he's saying is you don't. So with the Knicks having the successful season as they had now, because they did have a good season. So you're telling me we would have been better with? Well, we probably could have been the same, but I'm saying like he made a move to get a big man, which we needed. We needed a big man. Mitch wasn't going to be there. Harstein walked to Oklahoma. So he made the next best move. What else did we have?
But I didn't want to sacrifice DiVincenzo and Randall to get the Cat.
I could agree. I could agree with that. But we had to do something. I think he got thrown in because Minnesota wanted him. I don't think they wanted to get rid of him.
Yeah, they asked
for
DiVincenzo.
They wanted him in that deal. So
right,
should we had spent another couple of draft picks with that deal to make that work?
Well, you also need a salary too, though. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
you can't just
it
draft. You need a salary too to match.
It had to match. Right.
That's what problem was. Now, I know he probably would have said like give up, like you said, like throw Josh Hart instead of DiVincenzo. You'd have been better off
Always,
with
yes,
that.
yes,
You
of
know,
course.
DiVincenzo's a big part of the starting lineup. You know what I'm saying, making threes and shooting
Hmm.
threes, and he doesn't have a
Especially when Josh Hart has been reduced to a coward this year when it comes to putting up shots.
right.
Yeah,
I
not
can agree with
his
you.
forte. Yes, that's not his forte. But
Because I be
yes,
yelling, I be yelling at the TV too to shoot the ball,
um,
shoot the ball. You're
listen,
wide open, shoot the
listen,
ball.
listen. I think my neighbors know Josh Hart by name.
You be
During the
yelling
Knicks
his
days.
name out when you be so
Yo,
frustrated. I mean, he
man, come
frustrates you. He's a
on.
great player. He's a
Listen,
great player. But like I said, that's because he's supposed to come off the bench. We got him in the
yes,
starting lineup because
yeah.
we done traded everybody in trades, and so that's why the bench is
And
real
that's
thin.
why I
That's why he
call
started.
Leon a short-sighted spendthrift. He's similar to Isaiah Thomas, who, like Rose, was a spendthrift, stupidly giving away draft capital or players in short-sighted trades that had long-term negative consequences.
Mm-hmm. And I
Yeah,
know a lot of people. A lot of people.
but we had more successful seasons. Well, under that Isaiah regime, I mean, if you're trying to compare them, we have a
I think
he
he's just
at least
comparing
he,
like the trades that he did
oh,
like for the draft picks.
oh,
That's all he
okay,
is. He's not saying as far as like the results, but it's just the draft
right, right,
capitals and stuff that he was
yeah, yeah,
using.
yeah, nah, yeah.
Yeah,
He
because
was
the
trying
Knicks,
to get
because
a
you
good fix now. He was trying to fix the problem now. Everybody's trying to fix the problem now.
because you know in the past the Knicks was trading draft capitals for
Correct,
like
correct.
over the hill players, and those picks that the Knicks was giving away were lottery picks. That's what the big problem was. They were lottery picks. It wasn't like the
Right,
Knicks were a good team, and those picks was like low first round picks like they are now. You know what I'm
correct.
saying? But even still, I know some people are still heated with the Mikal Bridges trade because they feel like we shouldn't give up 5 draft picks for him. Like I said, he's not a 5 draft pick player. Yeah, we probably should give 2, but not 5. But you know, hindsight is 2020 now. It's in the past. Ain't nothing we can do about it. And
Hell
like I said,
All
no.
I'm
I
saying
mean,
is when
the
that
good thing about that trade is like, you know, those picks are gonna be low picks now. If they would have been lottery picks where we wasn't making the playoffs, yeah,
correct.
we'd have been even more pissed off.
But that said, in my view, sooner or later, the consequences are going to come back around and bite the team in the ass.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
Yeah. Yeah, it could. Like I said, right now, like I said, we're going into the playoffs now. So the second thing I was going to ask is like, yo, the health and concerns of the team now. How do you feel about the health and concern of the team going into the playoffs right now? I'll let Mets go first. How you feel about the health and concern going into the playoffs?
This is more of a character flaw on Tin Man Tibbs. The fact that he'll just only hoard one set of players to put them on the floor 24/7 and grind them in the dust is what got him into trouble in Chicago. It got him in trouble in Minnesota. And sooner or later, it's going to get him in trouble in New York where people want his neck in a noose.
mm.
Yeah, I mean, he
I
does,
mean,
he
look at
does.
what
He
happened to
rubs you the
Derrick
wrong
Rose.
way.
I mean, look at what happened when he had both Derrick Rose and Joakim Noah under his thumb in Chicago. Ground them, ran
Ground
them
and
in the
pound.
ground. They suffered injuries from which their careers never recovered, and soon both were forced to retire. Jimmy Butler didn't want that to happen to him in Minnesota, so he started butting heads with Tibbs, and the organization sided with him, and they drove the Tin Man off.
You trade him to Philadelphia, right?
Right.
Mm.
Yeah. So D, how you feel about the health and concerns of the Knicks going into the playoffs? The
Well,
health.
I'm hoping that he plays the players he's been playing through the regular season. Um, the only way to to last throughout the playoffs and have everybody at full capability is to get them some rest. There's no way you're going to play Brunson 44 minutes and all of that through the playoffs. He's not going to last. And if he hasn't
Mhm.
learned from that, then we deserve to lose. We deserve to lose. He's got to keep
Mhm.
it consistent. He's got to get those other players to be in the game just in case another sprained ankle, another this, another that. You can't just interject anybody in a lineup and think they're going to be magnificently like pulling off the same thing as your starter. You got to keep
Right.
a good rotation going. So the health
Yeah.
right now is good. Everybody seems healthy, but yes, he's the one that could really throw that in a loop.
So you concerned about like the rotation? That's what you concerned about, the rotation going
Correct.
into the playoffs. So
Correct.
it's like if he's going to
Correct.
extend it or shortening like he always does every year, well, he did at the beginning of the season, which was kind of crazy that I never saw before you
Yeah.
shorten a
He,
rotation.
he's got to play the 4 or 5 men that he's been playing, and again with Mitchell being back, I know he's going to play him. Shaman has got to get those minutes. Of course, Deuce is going to be there.
Pain.
Between Payne, you know what I mean. So he's got to be consistent with those same. And maybe listen, PJ Tucker for toughness. We're going to need PJ Tucker for toughness in some
Hmm.
of these series. So listen, I saw him play Detroit. If we don't utilize what we picked up, then he's only hurting the team.
Yeah.
And that's been my biggest problem with the Tin Man. His mindset will sometimes do more harm than good.
Right.
Yeah, man. I have the same things like you guys. The health, like I said, I'm just glad we're finally getting, healthy going into the playoffs, even though, Brunson just came off an injury, about 2 weeks ago or something like that. So it's like, yeah, we just gotta hopefully like he don't re-injure himself. That's the whole thing going into the playoffs. Don't re-injure yourself, you know what I'm saying? And if they're gonna allow these guys to play physical in the playoff, like I said, Knicks gonna have to play physical too, but it's like we have to watch it, you know what I'm saying? These guys like they're gonna be taking cheap shots or like landing under, getting their foot underneath you. So that way when you shoot the ball, you come down on their foot. Players do that and something like that, even though it's not supposed to happen, but sometimes it's just human reaction. Like you just walk, I ain't gonna say walk under a player, but you just walking towards a player and it's just like it just happens. And that's the thing that you gotta watch out for, you know what I'm saying, as far as that, because we need Brunson in this playoff, man. We don't need him to re-injure himself, like I said, because if you look at the guard rotation, it's only going to be like Cameron Payne and Deuce McBride. And, Tyler Kolek is a rookie. Like I said, we said in the season he should have played a lot more. So that way, by this time in the playoffs, he would have more experience under his belt. I mean, he was there like the whole damn season, and he could have been playing. Even while Brunson was out, he could have been playing a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? Those 15 games that Brunson missed, he could have been getting like 20 something minutes every game. You know what I'm saying, with him, and because Cameron Payne was out too. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Yeah.
And then we also got to remember DeLon Wright. DeLon Wright got to play too. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, you seen guys that look like they earned some more playing time. You know what I'm saying? While these other guys was out, and I wish you could play some of these guys at some point. You know what I'm saying? And don't just relegate them to DNPs like every game and never see the floor, especially in crucial situations. Like if a game comes down to the last 5 seconds or 10 seconds, put DeLon Wright out there, better defensive player. Put him out there, man. Don't just like keep Brunson or Bridges in or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Put some guys in there that's going to give more of an effort on defense. That's what we need to do. We got to worry about the wins. We can't worry about who's out there and stuff like that. Got to worry about the wins. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole thing about the. You got to. This is the playoff now. All the regular season stuff is out the door right now. It's about winning. It's about adjusting on the fly, and it's about making quick decisions and and go with your instinct. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, hey, if Bridges is having a bad game, take him out the game, put somebody else in. You know what I'm saying? Like we watched the Celtics game with Jaylen Brown sitting on the bench the whole fourth quarter because he really didn't have it that game. He was in foul trouble, so they just kept somebody else in the game who was making plays. That's what you got to do. We got to try to win games. We're trying to win games. We're not trying to worry about players' minutes and, oh, this guy got to play for it. I don't care about that, bro. At the end of the day, if that guy is not doing what he's supposed to be doing, we don't need him playing. We need somebody else playing who's contributing. Because like I was saying in the past, we don't need guys running up and down the court getting cardio. We got to get production. You know what I'm saying? I need somebody getting some production. But like I said, going into the playoff, Brunson, Payne, Deuce, Kolek, those are 4 guards. And, I know that's probably the playoff roster, you know what I'm saying? Because I know they probably going to do the playoff roster because the playoff, if you guys don't know, the playoff is Saturday. That's the first game in New York at 6 o'clock on Saturday the 19th. Pistons at Knicks. So I'll be doing that game live stream.
Too bad
So
I've got my plate. Too bad I've got my plate full on Saturday. I've got a Met Cardinal game to call at 4.
I know.
And I'm doing the first night of WrestleMania at 7.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure you're gonna catch the Knicks at some point. But like I said, hopefully if you don't catch them, hopefully they win that game. So at least you'll be happy. You know what I'm saying? As far as that part, because everybody know in the playoffs, hey, the playoffs don't start until the road team wins on you know what I'm saying. Once that's when the playoffs really start. So we can't let these guys steal a game in New York. The first 2 games can't let them steal a game. Got to win these games. But as far as like I said, going into the playoffs, I know Tibbs is going to go with an 8-man rotation or probably a 9, you know what I'm saying, because it's going to be Mitch, Deuce McBride, Cameron Payne off the bench, and probably Landry Shamus and Precious Achiuwa. That's 10. He really could go with 2 units, but I know he's not going to do that. He's going to play him spread because Precious might not play at all. He might not play at all in a couple of games, depending on what's going on. Unless somebody gets in foul trouble or unless somebody gets hurt, that's the only way I can see it coming because you know how stubborn Tom Thibodeau is.
Yeah, and when he gets an injury, sometimes he'll even shortchange the rotation to 7 men. We saw that last year.
I know. That's what I'm saying. You can never predict this guy, man. I mean, common sense between me, you, and these other guys can see it like, hey, get more guys in there and stuff like that to give the starters a little bit more breather. Because in the playoffs, man, you know, everybody's going to step their game up. When they step their game up, that's more adrenaline, more energy you're going to use. So it's like, hey, you got to play a lot of other guys so that way you can keep these guys fresh. If you don't keep these guys fresh, we're going to get run out the gym, man. You got to keep the guys fresh. You can't have them playing the whole third and fourth quarter without coming out for a breather. Even if you got a 15-point lead, you got to take the guys out the game and bring somebody else in. Because if you keep them in the game and that lead dwindles to 2 points, now you really don't want to take them out the game now. Now you're caught in the quandary. You know what I'm saying? It's like, now, oh, man, it's like they back, so we got to keep them in the game. And these guys are going to be tired like that, and then the Pistons going to keep rotating guys in and out. They're going to be fresh. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole thing. When you got guys coming in that's fresh, they're gonna wear you down. You know what I'm saying? Because you're already gassed. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, hopefully, like I said, in this playoffs, he'll go to play at least 9 man, you know what I'm saying, like 4 off the bench or possibly 5, which I want possibly 5. But knowing him, and let me tell you something, he better not do no 8-man rotation, bro. It better be a 9-man rotation.
He can't afford to this year. It's you got too many. You got pieces. You got to utilize the pieces. I mean, I could see the other years it was, you know, you were struggling with the pieces you had, but it's different this year.
Tyrone said, if we can't beat Detroit, Tim should get the axe.
Damn right he should.
He should get the axe.
Enough is enough with this tunnel vision twit.
Right, man. It's just like you just look at him. It's like, yo, like I was telling the D, man, this is a veteran coach, man. That should know all the things. He's been around the block. This ain't his first time on the rodeo, man. He's been around the block. You know this. You know the playoff atmosphere. You know everybody raises their game up in the playoff. Your team got to raise their game. We got a week off going into this playoff. I better not see the Knicks come out with no energy after like 6 days of rest. I better not see that, bro, because you got time off. So you better come and play with some energy from the very beginning. I don't want to see them coming up and walking the ball up and doing this slow thing that they be doing. It's like speed that thing up, bro. Especially if we got getting a lead and we in a good groove. Keep forcing the issue. Be aggressive. Let's get this thing going, man. I don't want to see it slow down because when you slow down, that's how you get stagnant. That's how runs start happening. And then next thing you know, we're back into a game again because then you start going back to taking dumb shots, or Josh Hart might not want to shoot the ball when he's wide open, when he should shoot the ball. You know what I'm saying? With the shot clock running down, I don't know what it is. It's like you already open. They getting you the shot. Just take the shot and just make it. Either you're going to make it or you're going to miss it, and we can get the rebound or something like that. But you got to take the shot. You can't come in the lane and try to throw to somebody who's covered, you know what I'm saying, for a turnover. You know what I'm saying? And that's part of the reason he doesn't take shots because, like I said, like we always been talking about, he's really he's a 6 man. He's supposed to come off the bench. But he's in the starting lineup, and teams know that. They know he's reluctant to shoot. So what they do, they put a big man on him, and then they put a small man on Karl Anthony Towns. And the Knicks don't figure these things out. It's like, Tibbs, you don't figure this out?
Yeah. If Randall were still on the team, he would still be a 6 man.
Yeah, I mean, Josh Hart would be coming off the bench and stuff like that.
Correct. And that wouldn't change that.
And Randall, the thing with Randall is like Randall will get that ball in the post. You know what I'm saying? He's not catching up by the 3-point line. He's catching in the post, especially if you got a small man on him. You know what I'm saying? Because Randall do be giving the business. Yeah, sometimes I know he don't perform in the playoffs. Randall is Randall, but Randall also knows that, you know, he takes advantage of his opportunities. I rarely see him getting the ball out by the 3-point line a lot unless he's going to shoot there or unless he got a big man out there with him. But if he has a small guy on there with him, yeah, Randall's trying to go in the post and, like, you know, work that dude, you know what I'm saying, and get that foul, or also, you know, kick out to somebody to shoot the ball. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, like I said, going into the playoff, that's what I want to see. I want to see like a 9-man to a 10-man rotation, which I know that's probably asking too much. You know what I'm saying? We will find out in his very first game on Saturday how it's going to be. We will get our answers on Saturday. You know what I'm saying?
I would say 4. I would say 4 to
a 9-man rotation, right? 4 off the bench.
Yeah.
So
looking at 4.
So who's going to be the odd man out? It's going to be Precious Achiuwa is going to be out, and also DeLon Wright and Kolek
Correct.
and these guys not even Pac and Dottie, and these guys not even.
Correct.
But then you got PJ Tucker on the bench too. Now with
That's
PJ
what I'm.
Tucker,
That's what I'm saying to you. He has pieces. The thing is how he works the rotation to make those pieces work. You don't have to kill the starters to think that you need the starters to do heavy minutes to get the big lead, because obviously we've seen the starters being in there doing heavy minutes and they can kill a lead. So it's not
mm-hmm.
like you're bringing in the reserves and the reserves is losing the league. So you have to go heavy minutes with the starters. No, the starters are losing the lead. And now you're bringing in reserves because these dudes are tired. He's doing it backwards a little bit. You gotta get your starters some rest. And like I
Yeah.
told you, he's gotta have learned. If he didn't learn from that last year's series, it's like forget about it. He needs to be on the first thing smoking out of there. You
He
know what I
said he
mean?
need
Like,
to be
come on,
smoking, gonna get the axe. He said if
yo,
the Pistons
out of
upset the
there,
Knicks, he's gonna get the axe. He's gonna get
Then
the
who you
axe.
replace
out of
him with
there.
is the question. I mean, if he does get
Well,
pinched,
there's some coaches that's already been fired, so you know how the NBA is almost
yeah,
like a
but we know how
recycle thing.
stupid. But we know how stupid Mike Malone is. I don't want him.
I don't want
Well,
Budenholzer either.
and
You said
Budenholzer just
Malone,
got
not
fired today.
Budenholzer.
No, Budenholzer got fired today, so you know he got fired. And who else is? There probably gonna be some other ones too
I
by
mean,
the
we
end of
know
the
Mike
season or something
Malone
like
got fired last week.
that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now,
All I
knowing the
want is a
Knicks,
coach. If Thibodeau does get fired, can I just get a coach who prides himself on 3-point shooting and tactical flexibility? That's all
Oh,
I'm
what's name got
asking.
fired? What's name got fired too? What about a couple of weeks ago? Taylor Jenkins from Memphis got fired too. But like I said, I know some other coaches. You know,
oh
what I'm
yeah,
saying by the
yeah,
end of the
yeah.
season, there's probably gonna be some more. You know, what I'm saying when the season is over. I mean, the season is over, but I guess after the playoffs too, you know, probably be some more too. You know what I'm saying?
I
But
mean,
yeah, man, like I said,
we know the play-ins start
tomorrow.
tomorrow. Yeah.
Tomorrow, yeah.
Tomorrow, yeah, it's going to be the Hawks versus Orlando in a good game, and then also Memphis and Golden State. That's going to be another two good games. But the thing about it with the Memphis game is they got an interim coach. They don't have, you know what I'm saying? That's another thing with Memphis and Denver. They got interim coaches and stuff like that, which is kind of crazy at this juncture in the season. I would have said it by, you know, if it was after the All-Star break, cool, but you fire the coaches like what, a week or 2 weeks before the playoffs? A week before the playoffs, man, that's not good.
That's
You know what I'm
crazy.
saying? That's crazy. You send them up for a death trap. It's almost like a death note. It's
Right.
like, yo, you know, your season's gonna be over because it's like guys ain't gonna know what to do. And then it's like with the new interim coach, he might play the guys probably that should have been playing or not playing. You know what I'm saying? Depending on some guys are used to
Mm.
already playing without doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? So then that might be a little friction on the team too. You know what I'm saying? You just never know how they do it in the playoffs.
Well, keep in
Next thing you
mind,
know, someone's gonna write the team's name in the notebook. Hey, and they drop dead of heart attacks.
well, keep in mind, the interim coach is the assistant coach, so
Yeah.
it's not like he's not part. He wasn't part of the game plan going into all the other games, so he knows who to play. It's just now he could just utilize his favorite players or expand upon what that coach didn't want to, and his lineup. That's all he can do, or try
I'm,
Yeah.
different parts.
I
Different
know
line.
one.
He gonna implement lineups.
I know one thing that's going to be possible. If Eric Spoelstra gets knocked out in the game against Chicago on Wednesday or Thursday, then we know the Spoelstra Riley era is basically over down in Miami.
You think so?
No
No,
way, no
I don't think
way. He
Spoelstra's
just
gonna be
signed a
there for a
new
minute.
contract. Yeah.
I mean, considering how bad heat culture has gotten lately,
Yeah,
it
but I
wouldn't
mean, I can
surprise
go.
me if they opt to give Spoelstra the axe. I mean, yes, I'm aware that Spoelstra is Pat Riley's boy, but the
Correct.
problem is it's been going on for like what, almost 2 decades now.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Yeah.
was supposed to be, but he's had a more successful career while he's been coaching Miami. Even when Miami, you know, lost the
Correct.
big three and all that stuff, he still, you know, he still got them guys into the
He's still
playoffs. They still
carrying
listen
on.
to him. You know, it's just now with the Jimmy Butler thing. You know, what I'm saying the Jimmy Butler thing that's got blowing up and things like that. But Spoelstra's, like I said, he's been a good coach. Like I said, he's a smart coach too. Like I said, he makes good. You can tell he makes good
Adjustments.
X's and O's during the game. You see it when we play Miami and stuff like that. They give us a
Right.
tough. It's not like it's an easy walk in the park sometimes, and that's been going on all throughout his whole career. He knows who to play, who not to play, things like that. But like I said, yeah, every coach has their own little flaws, but Yeah, it would surprise me if they don't Wishbone, they fire Wishbone. It would surprise me, you know what I'm saying? Because they know and I know it's like ain't too many good coaches just walking around. So it's like you got a coach, you know what
Yo,
I'm saying?
yo,
I think he'll be there.
yo, Mets. If you're thinking that's a possibility for the Knicks, yo, just get that out of your head. That's not
I don't want
happening at all.
Spoelstra anyway. I'm just saying it's a
Oh,
possibility that
oh,
he'll get pink slipped.
So
oh, okay.
Mets, who would you want if you did if the coach did get
Right.
canned?
I'm
Who would you want as a
curious.
coach?
Good thought, huh? I was thinking Monty
Oh, well,
Williams for a minute.
you got to think about who's available. Yeah, Monty Williams. I think he was out of basketball for this season. Yeah, I think he's not. He
Yeah,
hasn't coached. Yeah, I think. I mean, he was going through the thing with his wife's passing also. So, but I mean,
correct.
he
I
needed
mean,
time
he
off.
is a former
Oh,
Knick,
he's
so it makes sense
yeah.
to
Yep.
try to get Monty.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you'll say Monty Williams if things don't go awry and they can Tiz, which we could think that, but I don't know if they will. But if they do, you know what I'm saying,
Nah,
you'll say
nah.
Monty
Yeah,
Williams. You said Monty Williams.
yeah.
He said he don't want Malone. He don't want Budenholzer. Is it Taylor Jenkins? Yeah, Taylor Jenkins.
I wanted a newer, fresher coach because all those other coaches have an old mindset. Not to say that Malone had an old mindset because he had a very versatile center, which I don't know if he could turn anywhere, turn Cat into a joker, but you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that uh, I don't think he could probably help this team. He couldn't make the team he had work. That was the problem, even with his injuries and stuff like that. So,
And don't get
and
me
he was
started
losing
on
the team.
Doc. That guy's an idiot.
Oh no, I wouldn't even say Doc.
Yeah,
I leave
nah.
it. Leave Doc in Milwaukee. I was hoping to get Doc in the first round, so that could be something the Knicks
The
has something to
Bucks.
look forward to. Yeah. So, but
I, th-
nah.
I think the coach that I wanted was actually got hired was by the Cavs was Kenny Atkinson. That was the coach that I would want for the
Really?
Knicks or something like that was Kenny Atkinson. I thought he should. I mean, he got a raw deal with the Nets. He's a good coach, like I said. I think and Kenny Atkinson, man, he grew up on our staff and all that stuff, with
Yeah,
them
yeah, yeah,
guys.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
so yeah, that would have been a coach that I would want to. And even what's his name, Johnny Bryant, the one that left when went to Cleveland. Like I said, look at their staff over there with Kenny Atkinson and
Correct.
Johnny Bryant.
Correct.
That would have been
He
another
took
good
one of our
one. You know what I'm saying?
staffers. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, what's his name? Went back to college. Mike Woodson went back to college, you know what I'm saying? But now he's out of a job too, you know what I'm saying? Mike
You
But
would,
Woodson,
you
Woodson
would,
is
you
as
would.
much of an old
no,
school coach
I'm
as
just
any of
saying
them.
like no, I'm just saying that's a
Wow.
coach that's a coach that's you know what I'm saying, that just got canned at Indiana and stuff like
Correct.
that. But
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
you know how the
Because I,
NBA is like they come back with some of these guys and stuff like
yeah,
that,
yeah.
man.
Well,
So he's available. That's what I'm saying.
Woodson brings me in the mindset of Doc Rivers. Is like just
Yeah.
bringing that. It's like nah, we could. And again, Woodson to me didn't do the justice to, or like you said, you want a coach that want to put the fire under the players,
Yeah, yeah. Hold them accountable.
tush,
Hold
you
them
know what I mean?
accountable.
Right. I, I don't know. Woodson wants to be. I don't know. He did
Yeah,
it to some
he's
players,
not.
but he didn't do it to all the players. To
Yeah,
me,
I just don't see really no Bill Parcells type coach out there that'll
nah.
that'll tell players to go hide underneath the bleachers or somewhere.
Well,
Just go sit out.
I think Monty will light a fire because he's somewhat of a new millennium kind of coach, like a new
Mm,
wave coach, not like an old style coach. He wants to, like you said, if you get guys up and down running, he wants to run. You know what I mean? And like I said, you have to have the lineups to do that. And again, to
mm,
me, that's what I'm hoping that Brunson don't pound the ball, because they're going to double team him heavy, and it's this first series. That's why he's going to exhaust himself in seeing those double teams. He's definitely
yeah,
going to see those double teams.
yeah, and you know how the referees been letting players get physical with Brunson all
Bodying them,
season
yeah,
long, man,
correct.
all season long. I'm like, really, this what we doing now? You know what I'm saying? So
It's just
it
days
is
like
what it
this you
is.
wish you could just punch these refs for being so pussyfooters and not calling those
Hmm.
fouls. Or better yet, have the players go longest go mean machine on their asses.
Right.
Suspensions be damned.
Hmm.
Well,
So
we
yeah,
can't afford suspensions now. We're in the playoffs.
nah, yeah,
You know what I
we
mean?
can't
So if we can't do it. We
we
gotta,
can't
if they're gonna
we
go hard, go hard.
Yeah, we can't afford a Charlie Ward type brawl breaking out
No,
and players getting suspended or something like that. Which I mean,
no.
which it really don't now, right now. But yeah, but Nah, but I'm just saying, just play fire with fire, man. Just play the same way too. They getting physical, get physical. Not to the point where you're gonna really, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, the only person who really looked like they about that life is PJ Tucker. You know what I'm saying? He look like he's about that life, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, I would like for him to like get under some of these guys, you know, off the bench when they come to the bench and fire them up, man, and get into these guys, man. But like, yo, why you playing soft? You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, come on now. That guy, you know, you could see things out there on the floor, like, you know, some people be missing sometimes. It's like, yo, they do this all the time. Like, yo, just go back to it, just do this. They overplaying you and all that type of stuff, or you know, they're not playing Josh or something like that. And that's another thing with the Knicks offense is Josh. You know, what I'm saying, with Josh being in the starting lineup and he reluctant to take shots, and teams know that, and there ain't nothing really Knicks can do because, like I said, all the alternative is like Demi said, they could probably put Shaman in the starting lineup. You know what I'm saying? I know his defense ain't you know all that, but I mean, at least on the offensive side, like I said, they ain't gonna leave him open. The Knicks will have more spacing on the floor too.
For
You know,
sure.
with Shaman out there because they ain't not gonna leave him wide open or you know put a center out there because Shaman he'll pull the trigger on those 3-point shots. You know what I'm saying? And hey, and the way he's been shooting the 3-point shots, he's been shooting them much better towards the end of the season. So,
Lights
you know,
out.
that's a great plus for us. You know what I'm saying? If we can get that, you know, type of production. You know, I know like Josh gets the rebounds, he does the dirty work, things like that, which is cool. Like I said, you're gonna need that, and you're gonna need that in the playoffs because sometimes the playoff game comes to a grinding halt, or it's not an up
Mhm.
and down.
I'm
Sometimes
gonna
it
hop
might be
off,
like slow
Jake. I'll
pace.
see you later. Bye.
Okay, Mets. All right, but yeah, man, like I said, with as far as that with Landry Shaman in there and stuff like that, man, that'll be great, man. Landry could come in and you know play some minutes and stuff like that. But then again, it's up to Tibbs what he's going to do. Is he going to play him in the playoffs like that, or is he going to keep forcing these guys to play like 35 or 40 minutes? You know what I'm saying? And that's the whole thing. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It's like the bench guys. How many minutes they going to get? 8 minutes in a whole game. You know what I'm saying? 8 minutes out of 48. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, yo, if you play 8 and 48 and Detroit, let's say they go 10 deep or 11 deep or something like that, and their guys playing like 31 minutes in a whole game, they going to be fresher. You know what I'm saying? You playing 31, and I'm playing 42 or 44 minutes. You know what I'm saying? And let's take into effect, a lot of these guys, like I said, they're still nicked up. You know what I'm saying? Brunson, Towns, you know what I'm saying? Josh. You know what I'm saying? These guys still like OG a little bit, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, you want to look at these minutes, man, that you playing these guys and stuff like that. But like I said, we already saw last year in the playoffs, he didn't, you know what I'm saying? It was the same old thing. He was running these guys again. What was that 2 years ago against what's that, Brunson, when he came back, you know, from the injury? And he played like
Right.
40 something minutes in a game. He played 40 something, like 44 minutes in a game. I was like, bro, this dude
Back
is
to
playing on one
back.
ankle.
Back to back. Back to back
Right.
games. He played 40 plus minutes. It's no way. That's what I'm saying to you. If he thinks that Brunson is going to play those type of minutes and down the stretch is going to have the strength or going to have the same common just the
Mm-hmm.
common play, he can't do it. He's got to get the rush. You got to utilize the players that you have to make sure that you're not burning these dudes out. There's no way. Listen, we got some tough players. Like I said, OG,
Mm-hmm.
you were saying OG with his foot. OG has definitely been playing lights
Mm-hmm.
out ball. And I think with him up and down, we need him to definitely do what he's been doing, grabbing at least 7 to 8 rebounds, if not more, to help
Mm-hmm.
to help combat like the
That's gonna be
boards.
a big thing.
That's going to be needed without a doubt. That's going to be needed. So again, with the players that we could utilize, even like I said, you bring in PJ Tucker to free up some of these guys for, like you said, eight
Spell
to
them.
ten
Like,
minutes. You know what I mean?
right.
8 to 10 minutes in there. Bring that toughness. Yo, give a couple of elbows, whatever, to these players. Let them know that we're here. You know what I mean? That's what has
Mm-hmm.
to happen. Mikel is going to be Mikel. He's not going to play no tougher than what he is. He's just I listen.
Mm-hmm.
Mikel, I just hope shows up and shows out. You know what I mean? But this is the time, not the hope, but just for these guys to put their best foot forward and play. That's all it's going to
Yeah,
come down
man.
to.
Like I said, come into this playoff against the Pistons, man. Like I said, some key to this series, like I said, is going to be rebounding, hustle
Mm-hmm.
point, extra, like the 50-50 balls, they're going to be very important. We got to get these 50-50 balls, got to get some of these rebounding, and also keep these guys sometimes off the 3-point line and play better defense against the 3-point shot, especially with Cat, with these pick and rolls. That's another thing. These pick and roll defense is just killing us with Cat, man, because he's letting these guys getting wide open 3-point shots while he sags back in the lane. It's like, bro, you're not doing nothing. And then it's like you sagging back in lane, but it's like that's not doing nothing though. You know what I'm saying? It would be one thing if you coming up and making it run the guy off the 3-point line and making him pass that ball again. That could take some more seconds
Correct.
off the clock, like how Mitchell Robinson does when Mitchell Robinson's out there. He's running guys off the line or he's gonna block that shot. Them 3-point shots is not like it's not gonna be wide open, when Mitchell Robinson is out there, you know what I'm saying? Because Mitch is gonna play. And what? He's probably the best big man in basketball to block 3-point shots, and he's done that a lot over his career, man. We've seen that time and time again with Mitch out there blocking the 3-point shot, getting the ball, rebound, and starts a fast break or something like that, man. And like I said, that helps us on the defensive end. With that, you block a 3-point shot, is boom. Now you got the ball. You going down the other way to either get fouled or get some points. You know what I'm saying? Not giving these guys a free look at the basket for a 3-point shot like it's a shooting practice out there. You know what I'm saying? And these guys are making it. That's the problem. These teams are hitting these shots against us. It's not like these guys are missing a lot. These guys are hitting their targets. And when you start making all these 3-point shots, that's how we keep falling behind. And the league keeps getting bigger and bigger because we keep giving them points at uncontested shots that they're not working for. In the playoffs is about contesting shots. It's not about giving uncontested shots. It's about contesting shots and making it tougher on these other teams to score and limit their scoring opportunity. As far as the rebounding, got to get these and stop these teams from second and third chance opportunities in the game. Limit that. Like I said, all hands gonna be on deck. Brunson, Bridges, and Anunoby gonna have to help out because, like I said, Josh Hart and Cat, they're gonna get rebounds. You know what I'm saying? I'm not worried about them or Mitchell Robinson. They're gonna get rebounds. It's these other guys, Shamit and all these guys, they got to get rebounds. The ball comes out long, you got to be there to get those rebounds. And like I said, get on the
Mm-hmm.
fast break and run the fast break. We got enough guards to run a fast break. These guys, like I said, we got 2 or 3 guards to be on the floor anyway. They should always be running. You know what I'm saying? No need to just be
Right.
walking it up slow. You know what I'm saying? Put Detroit on their heels and stuff like that. So yeah, man, those are things I'm looking for as far as this playoff against the Pistons, man. Like I said, for me, is rebounding, hustle, like 50-50 balls and stuff like that. Limit the second chance points and stuff like that, man. And like I said, pick up the pace, or like I said, it depends on how the game is played. If both teams really ain't going up and down the court, okay. But if the other team is running you up and down the court, you can't be walking the ball up the court. You're going to get run out the gym. You know what I'm saying? You want to slow it down and stuff. These other teams ain't trying to slow it down. They trying to keep their adrenaline going. That's why they trying to pick up the pace, because they know when they push the issue and keep pushing, forcing the pace, they're going to get a lot of easy baskets in transition against the Knicks. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If the Knicks defenders are not hustling back on defense, they're going to get a lot of easy baskets. And when you get a lot of easy baskets, that's how leads grow and then be insurmountable. And next thing you know, you don't lost the game because you gave up too many free points while you on the other end is working for all your shots, and they're making it tougher on you because they're playing defense and stuff like that. And they limit you to like one and done. They getting the rebounds. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, with us, we got to play much tougher in this series. Like I said, Pistons been physical this year with the Knicks, and they have a physical team, just like how the Knicks used to be physical. But a lot of
Mm-hmm.
physicality is not about just being strong; it's just about playing strong with the ball, getting the rebounds and stuff like that, and playing these guys, guarding these guys and stuff like that, and being a jerseys and a shirts and making sure they ain't getting no good looks and stuff like that, man. You gotta have to pick up your tempo and pick up your pace. So that's my say as far as like some things to look at. I don't know. It's like you probably agree with some of the things and stuff like that what the Knicks need to do against the Pistons and stuff like that. Because like I said, they beat us 3 out of 4 games, which like I said, that's the regular season. Yeah, I know they're coming in a little bit confident and stuff like that, but hey,
Mm-hmm.
playoffs is a different kind of story. We'll see how the Knicks come out in the playoffs because, like I said, if they come out like the way they come out in the regular season, it's not going to be good because in the playoffs, you got to step your game up. You can't play at a regular season pace. You got to play a playoff pace type of atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? That's when you got to pick up your level of play.
For sure. Tim's got to realize that even playing these guys 40 minutes, if wins don't come out of whatever you're doing, it's still a loss. It's still something that is not helping you in achieving a goal. The bottom line, if we pay Cat 30 minutes, because like you just said, I think half of the time Cat is trying to conserve energy when
Mm-hmm.
playing. That's why he sags in the lane. He don't have that foot speed to stay with those guys. But again, you have to close out because if you're giving guys wide open shots to take wide
Mm-hmm.
open shots like that, you're only giving them a better chance to making it. So that's why, like you said, right. If he has to split those minutes between Towns and Mitch or play Towns and Mitch together, because Mitch to me can play a good four or sometimes a solid three, somewhat. You know what I mean? Without
Mm-hmm.
being handsy and fouling them and all of that. But we could stretch Mitch a little bit. But the fact is, we need better. We need guys to get rest. We need guys to at least play the minutes that they're playing, not stretch them to overplay them in minutes that they're exhausted in. That's what it's going to
Mm-hmm.
come down to. That's what I'm saying to you. With the bench he has, you got to utilize it. You got to find minutes, or you got to find minutes to put guys in to stretch other players out. And that's what I said. That's the first game is going to definitely tell us everything. It's going to tell us everything.
Mm-hmm.
Because I
Gonna tell
know
us
for
about the
sure,
rotation.
yeah, it's going to tell us what the rotation is, who he has matched up. Because I know he cannot put Mikal on Cade. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen in this game. He's going to have to
Mm-hmm.
put OG on Cade and let Mikal run around with, if they start Hardaway or whoever, Beasley or whomever. He's got to
Tobias
chase
Harris.
those. Well, Tobias
Yeah, that's
Harris,
who's gonna
you see,
start.
you're going to see in the game, Tobias Harris is going to test Mikal in the post. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's the biggest thing. They're testing Mikal because they're saying Mikal is light, so they're definitely putting Mikal in the post at whoever's guarding them. That's what they're doing. It's no different
Mm-hmm.
than when we played the Hawks and Mikal is being guarded by
Trey
Trey
Young.
Trey, and how he doesn't kill Trey in the post is beyond me. Is
But
beyond me.
right, but like I said, I said the same thing too. You know, I was like, how he's not doing it. But you remember when we played the Hawks with RJ Barrett, RJ wasn't even putting him in the post. Like I said, I don't know what tips I was talking about for
Correct.
mismatches, which is so stupid, bro. It's
Correct.
like you're a veteran coach. You're supposed to know this, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, what type of offense are you doing? It's like you're not even taking advantage of mismatches. You letting guys get away with things. There's no way these guys should be out there on the court. You know what I'm saying? You're not posting them up if you got the size advantage on them to get these guys in foul trouble and stuff like that. It's coaching 101, man. That's what I'm saying, man. He drops the ball a lot. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot left to be desired with his coaching. Something like I said, he done been in the playoffs like how many times now? You know what the playoffs is about. You know what you got to bring. You know what's in, he's like, bro, what are you doing? You know what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, and I don't want to see him like getting out coached. That's my whole thing too. You
That's the
can't be getting
biggest
out
thing
coached
too.
with
Yeah.
some stupid things that we seen. Just like we talked about in the Boston game at the end. We up
Mm-hmm.
3 points with 11 seconds left to go. Foul somebody, foul him. Put them on the free throw line to conserve the 1 point lead. You know what I'm saying? They make 2 free throws, you got a 1 point lead, and then now with 11, and then now down to like 8 seconds, you inbound the ball. Your guy can wait 2 or 3 minutes, he gets fouled, he can go to the free throw line. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
It's about winning the game. It's not about, like you got to put your pride aside, man. Put your pride aside. It's not about defending, because a lot of the guys don't defend like that, like the way you think they're going to defend, like, oh, they got 11 seconds left, we should be able to shut them down and I get a 3-point shot. No, your team, like I said, they know what matchups to go to get an open 3-point shot. They're going to go to the pick and roll. What are you going to do? It's going to be the same thing. That's what I
Correct.
say. You foul these teams. It's like, if these teams know that, you should know that too. You know what I'm saying? You got to make better decisions as a coach. Like I said, Tibbs, like I said, man, can't keep giving these excuses. I know a lot of some guys like Tibbs as a coach and all stuff, but like I said, I don't care too much for him as a coach. Like I said, it would be different if he like changed and adjusted and doing something. I was like, oh yeah, this guy, he's not the same coach like he used to be. He's still the same old coach. Ain't nothing changes. Like a leopard don't change his spots. You know what I'm saying?
So so
You know
so
what I'm
you
saying?
so you so you think he's going to shorten up the rotation, and the most we're going to see off the bench is 3 guys coming off the bench?
Yeah, I'll say it's about 3, 4. Yeah, 4. I'll probably give it 4 with Deuce and like I said, Shamit. Like I said, Precious will be the odd man out, but I'll be surprised. Like I said, if he plays 8 guys, bro, it would not shock me, man. Like I said, Mitch will be Mitch, McBride, and probably Payne. It will not shock me, bro,
And Shamit,
because
yeah,
no, I mean he might if it goes to 8, he won't play Shamit. You know what I'm saying? Or he'll probably play
yeah.
Shamit instead of Payne or something like that. But it's just like it won't surprise me. And like I said, you got DeLon Wright on the bench that you could play in spurts or something like that. Sometimes you know what I'm saying. You got PJ Tucker you can bring in for some toughness sometimes. Like, yo, if you don't even play these guys don't even sniff the floor. You know what I'm saying? When you do need it at certain points in the game, then what are you there as a coach for? It's like this. You can't say like, oh yeah, after the game, after we lose, like, oh yeah, we should have did it, bro. I don't want to hear about what you should have done. You should have just did it. That's all I'm gonna say.
Right.
Stop doing it like this. You, like I said, you done been around the block way too many times to know all these things. You should know every situation that come up. Just like I said, was like 3-4 years ago when we played. Every time we played Miami, right? What Miami used to do to us, throw a zone at us. We can't beat a zone. He's like, yo, how many times have you seen them throw a zone at us and we lose it every single time because you don't know what to do with a zone because the guys on the floor, you're not calling them to do certain plays, or even the guys on the floor is like this. They do the same thing. There's nobody flashing to the paint. I mean to the free throw line to break the zone or something. Nobody's doing it. Everybody's standing up by the 3-point line. You're not gonna break the zone that way, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
it's like this.
you also saw the sending the double teams of Brunson. We never figured
somebody's got to be
that-
open.
Correct. You never figured out how to not to get the next man open or find or put the rotation where you put the next best guy in to handle the ball, so you're not having that confused state of mind when guys don't know what to do. Because right, you pass to Josh Hart, he's gonna dribble and look for somebody to do something. And then what you're gonna do? Force a pass and there's a turnover. There you go. Then it starts that holds it starts snowpiling from there. Yeah, you can't. He's gotta make adjustments. That's what it's gonna come down.
And like I said, and that's the thing, we don't have a guard like that. Because then I think RJ Barrett would have been a guard like that if Jalen gets double teamed, as soon as you throw the ball to him, he's going to attack the basket because you got to go and attack the basket. You know what I'm saying? To make them foul you, do some things. It's like we don't have somebody that's going. These guys get the ball and they'll keep standing up by the 3-point line. And if Josh gets the ball, he's gonna be wide open by the 3-point line. Will not take that shot and do some. I was like, here we go with this thing, and teams know that. You can know the personnel that's on the floor. So like if we double team Brunson to get the ball and he throws the ball to this person, Mikal really ain't gonna attack the basket because even when he attack the basket, he'll go down there and then he'll fall away on a fall away shot from the lane. Like, bro, go all the way to the basket.
Right, he'll take his one-legged. Oh, you passed me in the corner. I'm gonna take my one-legged step back 3-pointer on one leg. Like, come on, dude, that's not the best shot. And then, like I said, we need Towns to be efficient. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind Towns taking his threes because he can knock them down. I just don't need you focusing on taking majority 3-point shots on shooting guards.
Right.
You shouldn't be taking 3-point shots on shooting guards. Dude, kill them in the post. Make your size work for you. Make the shot easier for yourself. If you want to take the centers off the try to take them off the dribble, listen, they're not giving you those calls. You can't complain about them while your team is running down, while they're fast breaking, like you said, they're fast breaking. You're arguing with the ref about a call because you don't want to do that trick. Like, you gotta give it up. It's either you're gonna play through everything. That's it.
And then, like I said, with the Knicks, like I said, with Towns, you got a small guy. It's like, yo, get the guy in the post, man. Don't have him catch the ball up by the 3-point line. It's like you're defeating the purpose. If you get in the post, one dribble, he's in there for either a close-in shot or get fouled. But when you get to catch the ball up by the 3-point line, you got to take a bunch of dribbles, 8, 9, 10 dribbles to get to the basket. And by the time you get there, somebody's gonna come over and double team you or something like that. If you get the ball, if you stay right down there by the paint, right outside the paint, right there, and they throw that ball to you, and you sealing somebody off, you're gonna get a lot of easier points that way to either get fouled or go to the free throw line or make the shot right then and there. You know what I'm saying? Make them, like I said, make adjustments to you. Show something different. That's what I'll see. Show something different that teams haven't seen. The playoff is here now, Knicks. Let me see if you can show me something different. So, like I said, in this Pistons series, like, what matchups are you looking forward to in this Pistons series, man?
I'm looking for OG to really step up his defensive prowess on whether he's guarding Cade, to just slowing him down a little bit. And listen, I'm looking for the Knicks in general to step up their defense all around. Listen, it's all about help defense. I don't want guys just falling asleep on defense like they've been. Like, find your man, get your man, I'm looking for Brunson to have just to play. You know what I mean? I
Mhm.
don't. The biggest thing with Brunson is I'd rather see you pass the ball, go off a couple of screens, get the ball back. They can't double you off of that. They can't double team you off of that. No different than Towns. Towns, if you're in the post, everybody's spread out. You know what I mean? Like they can't double team you when the ball is moving. Towns, if you catch the ball in the high post, what's the possibility they're going to double team you because everybody's around a perimeter? Like, come on, dude. We gotta play different ball. It's like I said. Again, it's not the players are playing a game. The coaches have to help assist with them executing the X's and O's. That's what I'm
Right.
saying. They have to follow suit. They have to pay attention to what's out there.
Yeah, I just think, like I said, man, it'll be easier. Like I said, if we ran up plays and schemes and stuff, it'll be easier that way. But when you
I
just get the ball and just like give it to Brunson or give it to Towns and let them do with it, it's like, bro, that's almost like, bro, that's hard. It's like I got to keep coming up with moves. I got to keep doing this. I got to learn. It's like this when you got plays and you're running a scheme and the plays, like, yo, all you got to do is pass the ball around to where it's supposed to go. Guys moving, cutting, doing things. It's easier that way. You know what I'm saying?
well
You,
for
but
your
it, all
system.
this,
Yeah.
all this ISO ball type things and all stuff, that stuff is like in the playoffs it gets bogged down because you're not making the other team work on defense. If the ball is only
Mhm.
swing around to one side and this guy's holding the ball for like 5 or 8 seconds, 10 seconds, the other guys on defense is resting. You know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
they're not doing nothing. Guys are not moving. We how many times we've seen it where we were like, Knicks, you gotta move. You gotta like I said, Brunson might get the ball at the elbow and he's almost double teaming. He's trying to throw a pass and nobody's moving. So they're making his pass much tougher to throw across his body instead of coming through the free throw line or coming closer to him or giving him an angle to throw a nice pass to him. They won't do it. And it's like, yo, you're defeating the purpose, bro. You gotta move. The Knicks got to have movements on offense in the playoffs, man. If they wanted to see some different results, if you keep doing the same
Right.
thing, just standing out, fanning out by the 3 point line, those passes are tougher because what happens if you get the ball in one corner and they got to throw all the sides to the other corner? That's a cross court pass that's going to get picked off. You know what I'm saying? You got to get guys got to be moving. And like I said, there's a lot of spacing that we can see. We're like, oh man, look at all that space in the middle. Just get flashed through the middle to get an easy pass and
Right.
do something with it. Nah, they don't want to do that. They just want to stand on a 3 point line. And then by the time the ball come around, what happened? The shot clock is running down. You got to throw up a bad shot because you guys are not moving. You're just giving the ball to one person and he's dribbling for like 9, 10, 12 seconds. The shot clock is running down. And before we know it, we're in a 24-second shot clock violation. And they might throw the ball to Josh wide open. He won't shoot the ball. He'll pass the ball to
Mm.
somebody else. It's like, yo, I'm like, come on, man. But like I said, for me, as far as the playoffs, the matchups I'm looking for in the playoffs, like I said, Cade, I'm looking for Brunson, like I said, I mean, I already know what Brunson, like I said, I really don't have too much thing with Brunson in the playoffs. Just sometimes at the end of the game, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, he's already worn down and you got to make the shot or something like that. But Brunson, but like I said, I'm worried about, like I said, Mikal and OG in this playoff. Towns, you know what I'm saying? This is his first year with the Knicks, so is Mikal, you know what I'm saying? I could look it back on some of the other playoff series, but with Towns and stuff like that. But I think I could trust Towns a little bit more. It's just like Mikal just got to pick up that pace in the playoff. I want to see more from him, man. And like I said, scoring is one thing with the Mikal, but like I said, I need to see more defensive rebounding and
Right.
going for loose balls and stuff like that because I don't see too many times the balls come towards him and he just loses the ball. I don't know how. It's like, bro, just grip it with a python grip or something like that with the ball. It's like, yo, if Mikal can get like 8, let me say, I don't even care if he get like 9, like 12 points. If he get like 9 rebounds, I'd be happy as hell. You know what I'm
What?
saying?
Yo,
Because
yo. Oh,
no,
you
listen,
know
I'm
that's
just
not
saying, I'm
happening.
just saying. But what I'm saying is, he has the opportunity though. It's like I said, with all those missed shots, you have a lot of opportunity. When you missing a lot of shots, there's a lot of opportunities for rebounds. You just got to go get it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I know he don't lost like 2 or 3 in a game because he's not really, you know what I'm saying, it's coming towards him and somebody take it
Correct.
from him. It's like, bro, those are your rebounds. You gotta move your feet. It's like, bro, you weigh a buck. You know what I'm saying? You're
Hmm.
light. You can move around. You should be fast. You should be the fastest player out there on the court. You should be the fastest player out there on the court. I mean, Mikel's he looks like a buck, but like I said, the way he plays, like he's like 400 pounds. Like he can't move around anywhere too much. Things like, bro, you got to move, man. You got to pick, and
What?
his like I said, his motor got to come up. That motor got to get up, bro. I mean, this is the
Hmm.
playoffs. I don't want to see you playing regular season, Miguel. Like play on regular season. I need to see you like, oh, this dude's moving around a little bit more, man. Go
Right.
around them things. Go get the ball. You know what I'm saying? Just like how you do when you get in a fast break, right? And you get up there for them dunks. move as fast as like that around the court and stuff like that. So matchup, like I said, man, Cade against whoever on the Knicks, like I said, because Cade is like he's like really the only one who really be giving the business to like on the Knicks. If they could slow
For
Cade
sure.
down, you know what I'm saying? That's a good
Right.
thing. And also Malik Beasley, he's getting a lot of good look. You got to get over there, and you got and what they keep doing with that Beasley 3-point shot with Cat, they keep running that pick and roll because they know Cat gonna stay back, and Beasley's
Correct.
gonna keep knocking that shot down. They're gonna have to. But like I said, this team and Tibbs gonna have to say, "Hey, you're gonna have to get up there. You're gonna do something." Because guess what? If we keep seeing the same, it's gonna be the same result, bro. If he keeps staying back, it's gonna be the same result, bro. And
Mm-hmm.
like I said, before you know it, those threes, next thing you know is a three, then it's 6 points. Now it's 9 points within like a minute. 9 points. It's like we can't be giving up those wide open shots. You got to make these guys
Right.
work for their shots. Beasley's a good shooter, but like I said, you make him put on the floor, make him earn his points. That's what you want to do. Because guess what? If you don't make these guys put on the floor and earn those points and not waste no energy, you want them wasting energy. By them putting on the floor and keep moving around, they using energy too. That's what you want to do. So he won't have
Correct.
like a nice wide open shot with so and he got legs to go. It's like he said, yo, my legs are fresh. You know what I'm saying? But like when Mitch is out there now, Mitch make them work for that 3-point shot or whatever they want to do because Mitch makes it more
Make him shoot
difficult.
over his arms. Yeah.
Shoot off his arm or Mitch be right there where as soon as he come around that
Right.
pick, Mitch is right there. So it's like he's either going to pass that ball to somebody else or try to slip it back to the big man. And that's what I said. And then that's what the other guard, whoever Mitch helps out, the other guy's got to be back there to either take a charge or do something, man. It's like you can't let the big man just roll and you got to work too. Like I said, Deuce is like good like that. You know what I'm saying? Brunson is another one that's lazy like that. And Mitch will come out and do the pick, and Brunson will not even help him back, get back to his. That's like Brunson.
Right.
Come on, bro. You can't
They're,
just
they're the
stand over there.
weakest. They're the
You can't
weakest on
just
the pick
stand
and
there.
rolls.
Right,
Yeah.
because they just stand there. It's like once to do is like once it's like, dude, if you standing there, you in no man's land. You guarding nobody. You just guarding space. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then you just turn around looking for the ball to come back. And so after they inbound the ball to give it to you, it's like, bro, you giving away 3 points. But like I said, yeah, that matchup, Isaiah Stewart off the bench and Jalen Duran, you know what I'm saying? That's another guy got to keep off the boards. I mean, the last game, I mean, he's a rebounding machine too. Got to keep him off the
Mm-hmm.
boards. You know what I'm saying? With Towns in there and also OG. OG gonna have to keep that guy because if they're gonna have the same starting lineup, OG's gonna be at the 4. So it's gonna be Towns and OG. You got to keep Duran and what's the name off the boards. I know Stewart comes off the bench. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But OG's gonna have to help out because Jalen Duran is definitely going to the boards. He's getting them putbacks, and that's another thing. If we can get those rebounds, that lessens their point. You saw the last time we played them, which was what about 3 days ago, whatever. Like we had a big lead. We had a lead on those guys. We had a lead on
Yeah.
those guys. You know what
They
I'm
was
saying? And
getting
then they just
second,
keep
third
coming.
opportunities. Yeah. At the
That's
boards
all it
at
is.
that. Right.
That's all it is. We just said we got to limit that, man. Like I said, for us, man, on our side, man. Like I said, I want to see how Cat does in his playoff and his matchup with Jalen Duran. Like I said, he could bring him away from the basket at times and stuff like that. But like I said,
Correct.
work that dude down there and stuff like that, man. So this will be Town's first playoff with us. Also, what is his name? And Mikel's first playoff with us. OG played last year, but
Right.
he missed a lot of the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? I think he
Yeah, with
played in the
that
first
hammy.
round, but he was. Yeah, the second round he was done. Against Indiana, the very
Mm-hmm.
first game, I think he was done. He was out for the rest of the what you call it against Indiana. So OG, like I said, and that's another thing. OG, this is gonna be like basically this is gonna be like his first playoff. But I mean, last year he didn't play that much because of the hamstring. Even though he played in that first round, and that hamstring was still bothering him until it just went out in that second round.
Hey,
So
look good.
this. You're right. So this will be like I said, OG. Just keep doing what you've been doing, like the last towards the end of the season when Brunson was out, the way you was carrying us, the offense, the shooting. Just keep, like I said, keep making shots. Like I said, that's another thing in the playoffs. The shots, they're there. You got to make them, bro. You're gonna have the opportunity to make these shots. They're gonna
Mm-hmm.
be uncontested. Some of them gonna be uncontested. You got to make the shots. That's all it is, making shots. If you don't make shots, we're gonna have a long night in the playoff, man. So, like I
Very.
said, that first game is Saturday, man, against the Pistons. It'll be 6 o'clock on Saturday the 19th. I'll be here on the stream, man, doing a watch along. I'm gonna be doing all the Knicks game in the playoffs. So y'all know where to meet us. Right back here, man, on the Man Cave
Sure.
podcast, courtesy of the Aboriginal Sports Network, man. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button on your way out, man. It costs you nothing. It is totally free. Also, go subscribe to the Aboriginal Sports Network. Like I said, and all the members, myself, the Man Cave, Big Pat Sports Talk, Unpopular Opinion Sports, Coach Ed Gladney's Amazing World Sport, Mets 2128 was just on here. Make sure you go subscribe. Leaf Diggy, also TP Way, also Delay of Game and R0B, man. Make sure you go subscribe, man. Like I said, we'll be back here, man. Like I said, next Saturday, man, on the Man Cave podcast. Do you got any final words you want to say on here, man?
Yo, make sure you check in. We should see what the Knicks is going to bring to the table. I'm looking forward to it. Outside of that, yo, hit like and
And
subscribe, like you said. Let's get this going.
I got to get your thing in this playoff series. I know it's the first game, but how you feel about the Knicks in this playoff series against the Pistons, man? Do you think the Knicks eliminate the Pistons, or how many games they win in, or something like that, man? Going in this
I I I
series.
I, I think the Knicks could take them. I think. Listen, we have a good team, like you said. But that's why I asked you, what would you grade the Knicks? The
Hmm.
proof is in the pudding. Could we have won more games? Are we greedy enough to say we want more wins? We wanted more out of them? Yes. But the fact is, they have achieved what they have achieved thus far. Listen, I only
Hmm.
see them doing more going into this playoffs and winning this playoff series. Um,
You got
can
the
I
Knicks
really
in.
predict after the first? I would have to really see the first game to give you that answer. What I would think after that. But again, I think Biggerstaff is a good coach. He makes adjustments. Tibbs
Hmm.
doesn't make adjustments. That's why I said I would have to watch this first game. But I think the Knicks will pull the series out
Yeah, I think so too. I think, like I said, with the Knicks, man, like I said, I know they know everybody is looking at this series because now it's a hot topic
for
between
sure.
everybody. Everybody's saying this is the series that everybody want to look at, and everybody picking the
Correct.
Pistons to upset the Knicks. And like I said, if I'm the Knicks, I got to be focused. I know it's like, hey, I got to bring my A game because this is a series. This ain't a one game thing. This is a
Correct.
series. So it's like, hey, just go out there and and snuff these dudes' confidence out, bro. You know what I'm
And
saying? Go out there and beat
keep
them.
in mind they did the same thing to us against Cleveland. When we
Hmm.
played Cleveland in that first round, they kept
Hmm.
saying Cleveland's going to take us in that first round. There's no way we
Right.
could beat Cleveland in that first round. So again,
Hmm.
we beat the same team that we couldn't beat this year. But the fact is, we won that series. They were hands
Hmm.
down. We won that series. So again,
You're right.
the hate. I can't say the haters, but the commentators are going to give their preview and
Analyst, right?
say, yeah, the analyst is going to give their theory to why we couldn't beat them, but we did beat them. At the end of it, we pulled it out. So again, who really put us at that? Put us winning that series? Nobody. The
Well, you
same
know what it
thing there
was? It was the X factor. It was Mitchell Robinson in that series. I mean, he manhandled
for
both of them
sure
guys. He manhandled
by
Mobley
himself
and Jared Allen by himself, man. And
for
that's what we
sure.
got in this series too, with Mitch being back. That's a man that playing like a grown man out there on the defensive end. He's snatching those rebounds, anchoring that middle, and blocking shots. And that's what he said. I'm glad Mitch is back right now, like I said.
For sure.
And hey, I could care less, man. If Mitch, hey, if you're gonna play Mitch like by 30, I'm happy with that. Mitch can give bro, I'll be much happy, man, if Mitch could play a lot more, you know what I'm saying? Depending on what it is, if he ain't in a foul trouble and stuff like that, that makes it that's even better for us. You know what I'm saying?
10
As
times
far as rebounding and also what Mitchell Robinson does is give us second chance points because he gets a lot of offensive rebounds. So that's a great thing for us, man. You know what I'm saying? So hey, like I said, with me in this series, like I said, I feel if the Knicks really come to play and play like the way they should, I think the Knicks should win this series in six. You know what I'm saying? Probably even five or something like that. But it depends on how the Knicks play. But now if they keep playing like the way they play in the series, this series could go 7 games. And hey, I won't be like the Knicks winning seven or if the Pistons winning series, like, bro, that's because of how the Knicks are playing. But if the Knicks play like how they're supposed to play and if they play with a chip on their shoulder and they play with everybody talking about them, like how we think that they should be playing, I think they could win in six and basically even in five. And if they do that, then they could shut everybody up, you know what I'm saying, against Detroit. But
hmm
then, it goes to the other thing because then in the second round, we meet Boston. It'll be Boston in the second round. And then if we get past, it'll be Cleveland. But it's like Boston. They always say Boston. We have no shot with Boston. But first things first, we're going to take care of business against Cleveland, like I said. And then, not Cleveland, against Detroit.
Detroit. Yep.
So, like I said, if the Knicks play like the highest of play, I'm gonna give the Knicks in six. But like I said, really in five. But I'll give saying the Pistons are a gritty team, and they're not gonna lay down for the Knicks, just like how they played the Knicks tough all season long. So the Knicks gotta have
Correct.
that in the back of their mind, like these guys are not gonna lay down. We got to lead on these guys. We got to keep stomping them out and keep doing it. Don't fall into these bad habits. Keep doing what got you to lead, and keep your foot on the gas on these guys. Keep your foot on their necks. But like I said, I like this series. I like the Knicks in six in this series. But if not, like I said, Knicks could be in five. But if they don't play like how they're supposed to play, then hey, the Pistons could drag this out to a 7 game series and anything could happen, man. But like I said, I feel good about this, man. But like I said, we'll be back next Saturday at 6 p.m. Knicks and the Pistons in the first round of the playoffs from Madison Square Garden. We'll be right back here on the Man-Cave podcast, man. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button on your way out the door, man, and also go subscribe to the Aboriginal Sports Network. So like I said, until next week, man, we will see you guys, man. Peace.
Peace. Peace.
Who's got the rocket launcher? I say we blow it up. Now fire that thing.
It's for the city of sports, playing with a giant Nick. With my man S. Dot Dog.
That's him.
You feel the vibe?
That's me.
We going live.
That's us.
That like button shared, you been subscribed.
Stadium.
That MetLife Big Blue, home of the Braves.
Yeah.
That turnpike, you can see that's where the game's played. NFL one day, then it's the NBA. Madison Square Garden, that's where the Knicks play. This that NY Logan, North don't get broken. Legalized mean this shit smoking. I'm on topic, dropping another episode. The game winner, trade, maybe a field goal. Everybody right now doing the wave. You tune in, the show called The-Man-Cave. I see the chat, they always doing their thing. Big views, 85 inch screen. The game's on, you rush and bleed. Stay calm, you on the road and chill. Do the watch along. The show's on, the host, you know it's S-God. It's no telling, the panel filled with guest stars. You now rocking with the voice, you know what it is. It's your boy J Boogie. You now rocking with my man S-God. I support him to the fullest, you heard? My man Mike Blaze. This is Alter Productions. What that mean, we about to alter everything that's playing. Tune in. My man S.T.O.D. Support the show. Subscribe, share it. Most importantly, hit that like button.